25 years I've been working here. You haven't been late once.
No, in the 40 years before that, I always took Valentine's Day off to come here. I never waited for the train. I waited for a person. 65 years ago on Valentine's Day, I was still a young wife. That day marked our first wedding anniversary, right here at this station. I personally saw my husband off, a young Navy pilot heading to war. He promised he would come back, but that farewell lasted a lifetime. Since then, every Valentine's Day, I've come here, sitting on the bench we once shared, waiting for the same train. I waited 64 years, until today. The last train has gone. The crowd is thinned. He never came. I just lightly touched that yellowed photograph. I can't say a word. My story was finally noticed by American Diaries. They sent a reporter, Susan. But I have no interest in television. I know Lucas. I assumed she was his girlfriend. I invited her in and called my grandson back. It turned out she wasn't, but I could tell he liked her. For him and for that tiny, almost impossible hope, I agreed to the interview. In front of the camera, I finally spoke everything. Meeting Neil, falling in love, getting married, building our home together, talking about those days, I still smile, as if he never left, until I pulled out the notice marked missing. 65 years later, I opened it again. I never dared to remember that day's scene, but I never forgot. The first time I held it, Neil was missing. I didn't believe it. The child in my arms was crying so hard. I held him tight, shouting at the messenger. My husband's not dead. I kept the letter, my hands shaking. Caroline, are you okay? Uh, just a little tired, that's all. But when I reached the roses Neil planted, I couldn't hold it anymore. I was taken to the hospital. The interview had to stop. The last bit of hope vanished. But Susan didn't give up. She contacted a senator, tracked down descendants of Neil's fellow soldiers. Finally, she got a crucial letter. The day I left the hospital, she handed it to me. The letter said, "Someone might know Neil's whereabouts." Meringue. I could hardly breathe. The next moment, my heart sank again. He was in a jungle tribe in the Philippines. Susan went anyway. She left her work to search, and finally she found him. When the call connected, I froze. Do you know what happened to my husband?
Yes, I know.
Then he slowly told the story of that day. Neil stayed behind to save him and a child. He gave his life so they could survive. He personally buried Neil, and he remembers where Neil rests. I couldn't say a word. Tears kept falling. 65 years had passed. I finally found him, but this time he can never step off that train again. Next Valentine's Day, I will sit on that bench again, waiting for a person who may never come back.